Hello students. In my last lecture, we studied the BPSK technique. What technique did we study? The BPSK technique. Today we shall go for the elder brother of this BPSK. Now what is this elder brother? Elder brother is definitely elder. Elder in what respect? Now in BPSK, what we transmit either a 1 or a 0. That is a single bit. Now, can I have a method wherein it will be possible for me to send 2 bits at a time? Now, why this has to be done? Why is that necessity? Has that necessity arise? So, sending 2 bits is either increasing the data rate or requiring a less bandwidth as compared to this BPSK. So either you double the data rate or you half the bandwidth as compared to the BPSK which was existing. So a method wherein you can send 2 bits together has been devised. Now what is this method? Now how can you send 2 bits together? This was sending 1 bit with 1 carrier. What was it? Cos 2 pi f0t. Fine. Now this was 1 carrier which was, say, let us call it as phi1t. Okay. Now I want another carrier. Definitely I will require another carrier to send the second bit because the same carrier cannot carry both the bits. Now I have to have another carrier to carry the second bit. Neither the first bit nor the second bit is known to us. Remember that. Both of the bits are as per the incoming message. Now, the phase of this phi1 will decide, say, let the first bit, and the phase of the phi2 will decide the second bit. But the question first arises how to club these 2 bits. What is the way to, so that these 2 bits, though they travel together, they will not interfere with each other. So what is the way? What signals will not interfere with each other? I hope you remember that we had discussed something called as the quadrature signals, the orthonormal or orthogonal signals. These are the signals which do not interfere with each other. How? I had taught you this, that if, say, suppose you have a signal x and then you have a signal, say, a. Now this a has a component ax, but it also has a component ay. Now slowly I'll increase the angle of this a. Fine. Now again it has ax and again it has ay. What is happening? The part of a that is lying on x is reducing and the part of a lying on y is increasing. Again I'll increase the angle and I'll make it completely in the direction of y. Fine. So what will happen? The part of a falling on x has become 0 and totally now a is lying on the y-axis. So what can you say? That a has no part now on the x-axis. That means what? A is not interfering with this x. Did you get it? So meaning thereby that when 2 signals are making this angle, what is this? This is a quadrature angle. What is this called? This is called as a quadrature. When 2 signals make that angle perfect 90, that is, they are orthogonal with respect to each other, they do not interfere with each other because no part of one signal lies over the other. Anything on this direction will have nothing on this direction. Anything in this direction will have nothing in this x direction. Getting it? So meaning thereby that if I have phi1t in this direction, the other carrier phi2t should be in this direction. If this is cos, this will be sine, obviously. If this is sine, this will be cos. Is that clear? So if I am using phi1 as a cosine term, then another carrier should be sine 2 pi f0t. Did you get it? Fine. So basically this is what we are using. Fine. So in angle terms, this is phi 2 and this is phi 1. So we will have two carriers to transmit the 2 bits simultaneously. Now when I mix this phi 1 plus phi 2, whatever information phi 1 and phi 2 is carrying, it will remain intact. It will not interfere with each other when the signal is traveling. Now since it is using two carriers, obviously this system is just a 2 BPSK combination of 2 BPSK systems together, meaning thereby that I have a product multiplier. It is as simple as 2 BPSK. Only thing is that one will have this phi 1 and the other will have this phi 2 to carry. This is the modulator, which is a multiplier basically. This is modulator 1, product multiplier, and this is modulator 2, again a product multiplier. Fine. Now this will get its bit stream and this will get another bit stream. Now but however, these bit streams are produced from a common source, a common message signal. Now this message is having a stream of signals, right? Now you want to divert the first bit say on the upper channel and the second bit on the lower channel, then the third bit again on the upper channel and the fourth bit again on the lower channel. So what you are doing? One to many. So what will you require? What is that device that converts a single passage to a double channel? What is it? It is a demux. Getting it? Fine. So a demux, what it will do? One to many. Fine. So you want one channel into two. So say suppose this is the first one and this is the channel 1 and this is channel 2. And here we have phi 1, which is a cosine carrier, and here you have the phi 2. Now this will simply be mixed in an adder. You'll have an adder over here, and this is nothing but what is called as the QPSK signal. Is the name clear? It is quadrature phase shift keying. Now why quadrature? Because it has those carriers which are in quadrature with each other. Getting it? Even the signals here occupy the 4 phases. Fine. If this is 0 0, this will be 0 1, this is 1 0, and this is 1 1. Say fine. Another quadrature representation, I beg your pardon, it should be 1 1 and this is 1 0. This is a representation. Then another possible constellation is this. This is what? The 45 known constellation, angle 45 constellation, and this is the angle 90 constellation. Fine. So these are the two possible constellations. In WCOM, based on these use of these two constellations, you have higher versions of QPSK, OQPSK and pi by 4 QPSK. But presently you only study the plain QPSK technique. So once again, I'll repeat. BPSK, fine. In BPSK, you can transmit only one bit at a time. Now, if the need arises that you wish to increase either the data rate or you wish to minimize the bandwidth to half, fine. What will you do? What will you do? You will transmit 2 bits at a time. And how is that possible? That is possible by using 2 carriers, but the 2 carriers should have an angle of 90 degrees so that whatever information they are carrying should not mix with each other. Now this is possible with a technique called as the quadrature phase shift keying. What is done? What is this block? This block is NRZ. This is the same as it was in BPSK. NRZ coded signal, that means whatever B message signal is here it will become BT, that is plus minus 1, and the first bit will go in channel 1, the second bit in channel 2, third bit and again in channel 1, and fourth bit channel 2, and so on and so forth. This will be combined, 1 and 2 going together, 3 and 4 going together, and this way the 2 bits, that is a D bit, will transmit over the channel. So this is a QPSK transmitter. What it comprises of? It comprises of two wings of BPSK. This is one BPSK, this is another BPSK. This BPSK is having cosine as carrier, this BPSK is having sine as carrier. So this is your QPSK transmitter. Is that clear? Fine. So here what will you have? You will have this phi 1 with plus minus, and you will have even the phi 2 with plus minus. That will depend upon what was the bit, the first bit and the second bit, okay, respectively, of course. So I hope the transmitter is clear. Now how to demodulate it? This composite signal, how will you demodulate? Now whatever is coming over here is plus minus phi 1 t plus minus phi 2t. I neither know if this can be both plus, this can be both minus, it can be 1 plus, it can be 1 minus. So it is a composite signal. So do you think here itself you should have there you had a demux. So here itself you should you have a mux? No. Because we have not yet demodulated, we have not yet obtained the bits. First demodulation is required. So nothing, you just have to take this to the respective demodulators. Here what you will have a phi 1t. This is synchronous carrier. In synchronization, synchronous with transmitter. In synchronization with the transmitter. Here what you have the phi 2t. Okay, and here the same what we had in the demodulator of this is we obtained through carrier extraction process. Here we are showing it directly. Fine, either you obtained it through carrier synchronization process or you obtain it with a PLL, that is phase lock loop. That is, you synchronize the phase of the transmitter carrier with the phase of the receiver carrier. Fine, so either way you obtain it, but it has to be in synchronization with the transmitter. Okay, then after that what had we done after the carrier extraction? We had again, what did we have? We had a multiplier. So this is that multiplier. Fine, and after multiplication what you have to do? You have to have a low pass filter, correct? Now all that band pass and filter and all that, the squaring and all is already done here. This it is extracted. I'm not showing the carrier extraction process of the BPSK now here. Okay, fine. In the detection, I have simply shown that we had obtained it. Once it is obtained, we multiply with the incoming signal. Now incoming signal is a composite signal. Remember that, huh? Now see what will happen. Now here I have a phi 1, here I have a phi 2. Both will come over here. Now phi 1 knows phi 1. So phi 1 and phi 1 will lead to that phi 1 square, which will be cos square in the upper channel and which will be sine square in the lower channel, and this will lead to that double angle 1 plus that double angle term, that is BT plus that double angle term. If you can recall whatever we had studied in BPSK, right? So the same mathematics you can again write it over here. We had studied that it becomes what? BT, that A, we had taken that A, and it becomes that cos square 2 pi f0t. Fine, because of multiplying with the carrier, extracted carrier in its place. Of course that theta was there, the phase. Fine. Now what this leads to? This leads to BT A 1 plus cos 2 pi f0t plus theta. Fine. Okay. Now here we are only interested in BT, so this gets separated because of the LPF, so that we have drawn here. Now what happens with the phi 2 over here? In the upper channel, what will happen with phi 2? Phi 2 into phi 1. Will it lead to any square term? No. It will just lead to cos term and a sine multiplied with a sine term. So this also is a high frequency term, and this gets separated in the LPF. This is a high frequency term, and this will definitely get separated, left out in the LPF, because LPF will only pass on the DC signal with its sign, whether it was BT was plus or whether BT was minus. Did you get it? Fine. So this now will go to the what it will have a mux, because both the signals are generating the bits. Now the bit have to be arranged as they were originally, right? So this is channel 1 because cosine was the channel 1 and sine was the channel 2. Here the mux has to be in synchronization with the demux of transmitter. Why? Because the first bit has to occupy the first position and the second bit has to occupy the second position. Otherwise what will happen? अब का BA हो जाएगा, right? CAT cat का TAC हो जाएगा. Getting it? Fine. The order will be reversed. So therefore this order has to be maintained. Getting it? Fine. So both these channels are simultaneously functioning. The signal is coming to over the channels. Now these product multipliers over here are also called as correlators. Why they are called as correlators? Because they relate with their own term. Phi 2 will correlate over here, phi 1 will correlate over here and extract the message from the composite signal. This is a composite signal. Okay, so this is called as a correlator. Now the product multiplier in a QPSK becomes a correlator. So this way a QPSK demod will work. Here also you have to show the mathematics which was involved in the only one sector you can show which was involved in the BPSK. So this was our today's discussion. Hereafter in the next video you will learn the DPSK, which is a non-coherent detection technique. Remember, BPSK and QPSK both are coherent detection. What is the advantage of QPSK over BPSK? QPSK has either the double data rate or it requires half the bandwidth as required by the BPSK for the same data rate. Is that clear? Thank you, dear students.